Welcome grade 8s to our second lesson, for creative arts music. Well done on getting through the first video if you did. If you haven't, please maybe just check the link below in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. Otherwise, scroll up the WhatsApp group and find the first video. The first video is on pitch, so our mnemonic devices like face and all-casi grass and all of that, so that we know which notes we're dealing with on what stave. This video is actually going to be on note values, okay? So the duration, how long or how short our notes are. So last week we dealt with pitch. This week we'll deal with rhythm and duration, okay? I'm going to share the screen now with you guys. If you are not in the WhatsApp group, please guys make sure that we actually get on that, all right? Over here, you guys can see, got our grade 8 creative arts music literacy theory lesson 2 note values. So like I said in the introduction here, for this lesson we'll be learning about what our notes, symbols for musical sounds, look like. Okay, so remember last week we spoke about that a note is actually just a symbol for a musical sound. Last week we learned about pitch with the treble and the bass clef, and we looked at our mnemonic devices. Remember, mnemonic device being face, all-casi grass, etc., etc. Okay, note values deal with duration. Duration means how long or how short notes will be held for. Below is a summary of the note values and rests, and a rest is a moment of silence in the piece. Okay, so I've put in this little picture of the music note tree for you guys. It almost looks like a little bit of like a pyramid, like the food pyramid. Okay, and on top here we have what we call a semibreve. Okay. And a semibreve we hold for 4 notes, and have a look at that semibreve. Okay, the next one that we've got is a minim. Okay, and a minim we hold for 2 beats. Okay, a crotchet we hold for 1 beat, a quaver we hold for half a beat, and a semiquaver we hold for a quarter of a beat. So guys, basically your note values will tell you how long you're going to hold the note for. So like we said on the semibreve is held for 4 counts. Okay, so if I have a normal beat going, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I have a minim, okay, the minim is for 2 beats, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we've got our crotchet. Crotchet is for 1 beat, so it will actually be on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next one is everyone's favorite. You guys don't realize it, but it's the quaver. Okay, this is the one that all the girls twerk to in the music videos. Okay, this is its rhythm.
Itty bitty pretty on the realest in the city.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we've got the semiquaver. It's for a quarter of a beat, so if we wanted it to last for 1 beat, we would have to have 4 of them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's our semiquaver. Okay, so I've got this picture here for you guys. The components of a note, all right? This is quite important because sometimes you guys really get confused and you answer, whenever I ask a question, you just answer that the answer is a semibreve. I mean, that can't be the answer to everything in music. So over here, we have a little picture, okay, and it splits up the note into sort of 3 parts. Not all notes will have all 3 components, and they'll be in different ways as well, okay? So I've gone through each note, and we've described which components they have and which components they don't have. So this is our note head. Okay, now every note has a note head. This is the one thing that all of them have, but some note heads are colored in, some note heads are left empty. Okay, and yeah, I don't know. So we're going to start with our semibreve. The semibreve has no flag or stem. The note is also not colored in. So if you guys remember from the tree, okay, from the note value tree up here, there's our semibreve. and it is not colored in. But if you look at some of the notes down here, you can see that that note head there is colored in. So this part over here, the circular oval part, looks a little bit like a rugby ball. Then this one has a stem, okay, you guys can see over there, and a little flag. I've been calling them tails. Turns out they're called flags. My music teacher lied to me. Anyway, so now we've got an idea. Notes usually will have 3 components, okay? We'll have one of the 3 components, a note head, a flag, and a stem, okay? So now for the semi-breve over here, you guys can have a little look. It's not colored in, its note head is not colored in. It doesn't have a stem, it doesn't have a flag, it's got nothing. It's just this little oval rugby ball note head, okay? And it's not colored in. Now let's have a look at the minim over here. All right, the minim looks sort of similar to the semi-breve, but it's also got a stem over there. Okay, so it's got a stem right over there, and it's also not colored in. All right, now let's have a look at the crotchet. Crotchet basically looks like the minim, all right, but note head is colored in. And then we've got our quaver over here. Quaver sort of looks like the crotchet, don't you think? Only difference here is that we've got our, no, what's it called now? Flag. Okay, we've got our flag, not tail. Okay, so we've got a flag, okay? And then our semi-quaver looks identical to the quaver, but it actually has 2 flags. So, I mean, I'm saying all sorts of things like they look the same, but then if you compare, look here, here's our semi-quaver, the quickest one that we've learned about. And if you go all the way up, you can see our semi-breve, and they look very different, even though every time I say they look similar. So they change as they go down. So remember, semi-breve, 4 beats, minim, 2 beats, our crotchet, 1 beat, quaver, half a beat, and our semi-quaver, a quarter of a beat. Okay. Now sometimes, and this can get a little confusing, sometimes you guys don't recognize our quavers and our semi-quavers, because sometimes in the music they do look quite different. Have a look here. So basically, when we have got flags, notes that have flags, so our semi-quaver and our quaver, when we have those, they beam, and this is now a new word that you need to learn. They beam together. They beam together, all right, when they are next to each other. So I always like to remember it's like they're little friends, and they're like holding hands, all right? And if they're semi-quavers, they're like a little bit strange, and they've got like 2 arms on either side that they're holding hands with, okay? Whereas the quaver is just normal like us, 1 arm on either side. So basically, you can see there, it looked like a normal quaver, but when we have lots of quavers next to each other, then they join, they beam together, the flags, they hold the hands, okay? Then our semi-quaver's got 2 flags, so you can see there are 2 hands being held. And now, you don't have to learn this one, but I'm just showing you, your demi-semi-quaver, which is an 1/8 of a beat, so you need to have 8 of those to fit into a beat. That was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's our 8 beats. That was difficult. I'm not even going to attempt the demi-semi-quaver, which is 16. Yes, you can see over there. 16 beat, like 16 notes in 1 beat. Great. Maybe you can watch someone who is feeling sad about themselves on YouTube doing that, but I'm not going to try. But now, how many notes are there? I don't know, ma'am. Ma'am, now is that 1 quaver? Is that 5 quavers, ma'am? I don't know. You are going to count the note heads. 1, 2, 3, 4 note heads. So there's 4 quavers. Don't be weird about things and count other things now. Just look at the note heads, okay? So I don't want to hear that as an excuse. I have to hear that every year of my life, and hopefully you guys can be better. The note values can be put on any line or any space, wherever, okay? They still will be held for the same amount of time. So if you've drawn a minim and the minim is on a space, that's fine. it's still held for 2 beats. If the minim is in a line, it's still held for 2 beats, guys. It makes no difference. Pitch and duration are 2 separate things, okay? So just because the note is A, that doesn't mean that it can't be held for 4 beats, man. You are the composer. You decide, all right? Well, I decide right now, but one day maybe you decide. I don't know. Depends on what your plan is here. So I just want you to have a little look here. As you guys can see, we have actually got just a few random notes. I've just drawn them in. I just want you guys to check this out and understand this completely, okay? We have this note over here, okay? It is colored in. It has got a stem, but it doesn't have any flags, okay? So it's actually a, pause for effect, crotchet. And that crotchet is held for 1 beat. 1 beat, all right? But this note is so much more than a crotchet, guys. Don't just answer this, what is this note? Don't just say it's a crotchet. It's also, it has other things. It's not only about duration. It has a pitch. Please, have a look. We are in our treble clef, and we are in a space, okay? So what is our space treble clef saying? What's our mnemonic device? Please. So basically, if you have a look here, if A, C, E, this one's on C. So it is a crotchet, but it is also C, okay? And that happens. So as a musician, if I don't know how long my note is held for or what the note is pitch-wise, I'm not going to really be able to play anything. Then I'm just doing whatever I feel like. Then it's not, I'm not playing Amazing Grace, I'm playing Miss Kutz's version of whatever she likes. Okay, I have to know how long each note is held for, and I have to know which note it is. That's the bare minimum of music, okay? There's all sorts of other things as well, like the kind of sound that you produce. You want it to sound nice, you want it to be loud, you want it to be soft, all sorts of other things, but the bare minimum for music, the absolute passing level is you must understand pitch and duration. Pitch, how high or how low, duration, how long or how short. Excellent. So this one is C, but it is not only C, it is in fact also a crotchet, okay? Now let's have a look at this. Can you guys identify what note value this is? Not what the letter name is, what its note value is, okay? So I'll have a little look at it. It's colored in. It has got a stem, and it's got a flag connected to its little friend next door who looks identical to him. So actually, by answering this question, I'm going to answer 2 already. Ergo, it is in fact a quaver. And a quaver is held for a half a beat, okay? So we've actually got 2 half beats next to each other over here. And let's work out now the letter name. Letter name being different from note value. So now if I say, what's the letter name? If you answer me half a beat, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's not half a beat. It is actually an F. If you look here, every good boy drinks Fanta. F, okay? It's an F and it's a quaver. So its letter name is F and its note value is that of a quaver, which is half a beat, okay? Now over here, we've got the next one. We've already said, actually, they're the same notes. It's also an F and it's also a quaver. You guys can tell that, right? And you can see that they're both colored in. They both have the stem and they both have a tail. Please, please, let that just be something that we all understand. Then the next one over here is on a line as well. And it is looks a little different from the last 2. This one's actually not colored in. Its note head is not colored in. It doesn't have a tail like the last 2 did. And it has got a stem though. And that basically means it is a minim, not a minimum, minim, okay? And if you have a little, so we know it's a minim, so its note value is a minim, and a minim we hold for 2 beats. So let's work out its letter name. Every good boy. B. How exciting and easy. So this one over here now, you guys can have a look. It's colored in. Okay, it's got a stem and it's got a flag. In fact, it's got 2 flags. Can you guys please tell me that you can see that there are 1, 2 flags there? In fact, the flag is going all the way to its friend over there. So it's friend next door's also got 2 flags. So whatever note value these two are, they're the same. And I hope you guys can see that. Please, please tell me that you can see that. If you can't see that, I must quit my job now. Okay, so basically, we're going to start here. It's colored in, it's got a stem, it's got a flag, and it's got 2 flags. So it is a semiquaver, okay? A semiquaver is a quarter of a beat. So these are a quarter of a beat each, okay? Now let's work out its letter name, okay? So it's on this bottom space in the treble clef, okay? So it's got this bottom space of the treble clef. What is my sayings for the spaces of my treble clef? It's face, F-A-C-E, F-A-C-E. That bottom one there, F. Very nice. Now the next one over here. Now look here, guys. Remember how I showed you last week we can go up step in steps and how it just follows the alphabet. So I'm in my line, my space over here. And now next door, if I go up, okay, I'm now onto this line. Okay, very nice. Now if I go up from the line, I go into that space. This is going to follow the alphabet. So if this one was F, what comes after F in the alphabet? F, then I go up one, G, okay. Now I'm going up one again, but we're not actually on the same note values anymore. This one is not a semiquaver because if you look here, that second flag never went all the way to meet him because he's actually just a quaver. He's only got one of the flags. So that one's half a beat. So that one's a quarter of a beat plus a quarter of a beat plus a half a beat. So this one is what? F, G, the alphabet, because we know that now, we're in grade 8. But what comes after G, please? A, not H, A, okay? A, now I'm going up one again. B, and this one's colored in, and it's got a stem, so it's a crotchet. And now go up one again. What's after B in the alphabet? A, B, C. C! It's not colored in, it's note head. It has a stem though, so it's a minim. Okay, and then our last one over here. Okay, D, because we're going F, G, A, B, C, D. It's just following up. It's just going steps up, okay? This last one is D, and it is held for 4 beats because it's a semi-breve. You can see it's a semi-breve because literally all it has is its head, and it's not even colored in. So you guys can see that it doesn't matter if the note is on the line or a space, whatever, it will still be a quaver. They are separate properties, okay, and you can mix and match them. That's how we create music. Okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys was just that you will notice that I use semi-breves, most people do, in all of their examples, and that is just because it's the easiest thing to draw. So there's no reason, it's not like semi-breves are the notes that you must draw, and if you don't, you're doing everything wrong. It's just that that's what we do to save time. And that's what I suggest you guys do as well in any exams or any tests. If you have to draw, you guys are going to learn about scales a bit later on. And when you guys draw your scales, for instance, it's going to save you so much time. So instead of drawing it as like a semi-quaver with, you must now color the whole thing and draw stem and draw 2 flags, you just draw a semi-breve and then it's just easier. It's just so much easier. So we're back at the notes now. I've finished this rant, as you can see. Anyway, we're moving on now. We are going on to something called a rest, okay? And we haven't really dealt with these too much, and I couldn't get a very good picture of it. So basically our rests are the silence that we have in a music. Guys, remember, technically the definition of music is organized sound. Music is organized sound, okay? And that means music can be pretty much anything. So long as you've planned it, it's music, okay? And so we've also got to include silence in that. In fact, there is a piece that was written, oh, who did it now? I can't remember. He sits down at the piano, he gets himself ready, and then he starts a clock on like his phone, or even back in the day, like a timer, okay? Sometimes they don't even do that. And he just sits there at the piano in complete silence for exactly 4 minutes and 33 seconds, and he does nothing. And people went mad for this piece of music, guys, because if you actually record the sounds that are happening around you, that's not silence. So in the concert hall, yes, the pianist is sitting there in complete silence, waiting and everything, but he's breathing. Someone might cough, a chair might scrape, someone might have to get up to go to the bathroom, and that's all of that sound is recorded because there's complete silence otherwise, so we pick up on all of the other sounds. And so there's lots of different recordings of 4 minutes 33 seconds, and people still perform the piece. Okay, silence is very important. So here we've got our semi-brief rest. Don't worry about these whole, half, quarter things. The Americans have weird names for things, but the rest of the world, we just follow normal things. Okay, so our semi-brief rest. Okay, so semi-brief rest, 4 beats, and that's what it looks like. It's like hanging, and it must be on that line, guys. It can't be there or there. It must be on that one. Okay, so the second last line must be hanging from the second last line from the top. Okay, and that one's our semi-brief rest for 4 beats. Our minimum rest is for 2 beats. Okay, it must be on that line, that middle line. Okay, 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. Okay, and it must sit on it. It mustn't hang like that one with our semi-brief rest. It must sit nicely. Then our crotchet rest. Guys, I will send you, this is the one that I like sort of on about. I will send you a picture of how we draw this one by hand, because it looks a little bit different to what it looks like on the computer. Okay, but this one's our crotchet rest. So crotchets we hold for 1 beat. Okay, and then this one over here is our quaver rest. And it must also be exactly there in that line and space and so on. Don't change things around. Okay, and that one is for half a beat, as you guys know, quaver, half a beat, and semi-quaver, a quarter of a beat, guys. So please ignore this nonsense here in the middle, please. If I knew how to get rid of it, I would, but I don't, so I can't. Okay, so ignore this. Remember what we've spoken about, and remember that note tree up at the top. Semi-brief, minim, crotchet, quaver, semi-quaver. You know how long these are held for. So you guys learned all about your pitch and your letter names in the last lesson, and in this lesson you've learned about the note values. Now next lesson for both of them, we're going to take it to the next level. If you guys would like a Zoom lesson on this, just let me know and we can have one and set that up for a nice time that everyone can make it if they'd like to. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy your day, and see you never. No, I'm joking.